Joining us now, Homeland Security Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, Tricia McLaughlin is here. Welcome, Tricia.
Thank you for having me.
So when you survey the carnage today, what goes through your mind and that of people within your department who might have seen this coming?
We've known for a long time that our ICE law enforcement was facing a major surge in assaults against them. Dick and I remember being on this program with you in February talking about a 430% increase in assaults against our ICE officers, and now we're facing a 1,000% increase in assaults. And then today, this monster indiscriminately firing at our law enforcement, at the ICE vehicle, at the ICE office. It's horrendous. And this is just 50 miles from the Prairie Land Detention Facility, which on July 4th of this year had a similar attack where a group of 15 individuals started lighting fireworks at this detention facility and then went on to try and shoot our law enforcement. This has to stop. It is incumbent upon Gavin Newsom, AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, any of these politicians to tone down the rhetoric. You mentioned Gavin Newsom, his unconstitutional mask banning in California. That legislation was called the No Secret Police Act. Of course, he's likening our law enforcement in that piece of legislation to the Gestapo, to the Nazis. And what did we do in World War II against the Nazis? We fought them and we killed them. And this is the rhetoric that is directly contributing to threats and violence against our law enforcement.
Do these people on the left even realize, and this is kind of a rhetorical question, Tricia, that a detainee was killed today? And these individuals are the ones that the left and the Democrats claim that they're standing up for. But that's who was put in harm's way, in part, if you connect the dots, because of the rhetoric. No. And I just want to, like, their language and their inflammatory jackjawing is not going to stop. So what can you do from a law enforcement perspective to protect everyone, the agents and the people who were brought into custody for deportation proceedings?
Diggin, absolutely. Secretary Noem has ordered that we have enhanced security around our detention facilities and around our field offices across the country. You're right, we're not seeing, despite President Trump, despite Secretary Noem, at DHS for months and months calling for the rhetoric to be turned down. And in light of the political violence we've seen so recently, we have to make sure our officers are extra vigilant. And that's a big part also of our workforce recruitment efforts. There's safety in numbers, and we need our law enforcement to be safe. So we've been recruiting more than 10,000 ICE enforcement officers, and we've gotten more than 151,000 applications. Despite the danger, despite this vehementizing rhetoric, this dehumanizing rhetoric, Americans are still answering the call to come and join ICE. They know what this mission is about. It's about making our homeland and our communities safer.
Does it make it tougher, Tricia, for you to try and recruit younger members of law enforcement who might be looking into jobs, with your agency or others?
I certainly think that these young men and women see the danger, but I also think they're patriots. They see through the charade of the media, and they want to serve their country. And I also think it's actually quite inspiring to see so many young people stepping up and wanting to serve, despite the danger that we hear about every single day.
Luckily, in the big, beautiful law that was passed, there is new funding for border protection in the Department of War. But Tricia, something that Paul Morrow was talking about is that there needs to be greater intelligence gathering to protect, from a law enforcement perspective, to protect those people who work in Customs and Border Protection, in ICE, kind of even from a Cold War perspective. And he said also that a domestic terrorism law should also be in play. Has there been conversations that you've been part of within the Department of Homeland Security about those very things?
Yeah, that's absolutely a great point, especially about really information and intelligence sharing. When President Trump and Secretary Noem took office, we were seeing that even in the Department of Homeland Security, which has 23 component agencies, they were largely siloed, not sharing information with each other. And then we were seeing that throughout the executive branch. What President Trump has really done is take down those barriers, and so that we are sharing information. We know better the data, we know where these criminals are, and so we can really be proactive and try to prevent these heinous acts.
So, Tricia, what is the goal of some of these politicians, who have been fomenting the discussion around the role of ICE? Is it to disband ICE completely? And has anyone in congressional leadership reached out to the secretary to try and find some solutions to this violence? Because we haven't heard enough today from politicians on the left who could be calling for a lot of this heated rhetoric to be brought down so, we can at least reach some rational common ground, if that's possible.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. I know just yesterday, Ilhan Omar tweeted, "Abolish ICE." So we're not seeing cooperation with the left. Secretary Noem, she is reaching out consistently to members of Congress on the left and on the right. I think that certainly the White House and Department of Homeland Security are looking at different legislative matters and seeing what possible solutions there are. But this has come to a head. This shooting, this monstrous shooting, should be a wake-up call for all Americans. And whether you're on the left or right, public safety is an American issue. And when we're getting members of MS-13, Tren de Aragua, known and suspected terrorists off of American streets, Gavin Newsom and these sanctuary city politicians should be thanking our law enforcement instead of calling them Nazis and likening them to the Gestapo, and like Jasmine Crockett did, likening them to slave patrols. It is disturbing rhetoric, and if they don't tamp it down, I'm afraid we're going to see more assaults against our law enforcement, and God forbid, nothing further.
Well, so far we've seen the rhetoric get worse and worse, and I'll go back to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Alejandro Mayorkas accused the border agents on horseback of whipping illegal migrants. And it was a lie. And it was repeated by the president himself and the vice president, and they never apologized to those Border Patrol agents. And so you see these Democrats trying to one-up each other by using increasingly inflammatory language, because that's how they get more attention, and they refuse to acknowledge that it's dangerous.
Oh, you're completely right. It's about fundraising clicks, it's about virality, it's about getting the next MSNBC hit. I think that's exactly what this is about. It's not about protecting Americans. It's not about doing what's right by your constituents. They just continue to demonize and dehumanize our law enforcement for their own, see themselves on TV, really.
So, Tricia, with your colleagues, when you look at some of the profiles of these recent violent shooters, including the man who assassinated Charlie Kirk, Luigi Mangione, who assassinated the head of United Healthcare, and today the targeting of ICE agents. What do you see when you get your heads together and you talk about the profiles of these radicalized and violent domestic terrorists?
Oh, I think that we're seeing it's a direct contribution of the age of the internet. It's people who are on Reddit and other websites, even the dark web, and they're seeing complete vilification of law enforcement, whether it be ICE, whether it be CBP, or whether it be state and local. And they want to take matters into their own hands. I don't think that politicians in the media, quite frankly, as well, we're seeing plenty of smears and just outright lies about ICE law enforcement in the media. And they see these pieces, and they're lunatics, and they use them as a permission slip to go after ICE law enforcement with violence.
Tricia, thank you for being here. I saw you this morning, and thank you for everything that you're doing.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
God bless you too. Tricia McLaughlin.